Is skirt off sick? This is Bridget Jones for Sit Up Britain reporting live from London. Hi, my name's Claire and I've been a fan of Bridget Jones since my teens. So whether you are a die-hard Bridget fan or you just want to have a look at some great London hotspots, I'm your girl. So grab your glass of Chardonnay and your Marlboro Lights, although she must not smoke anymore, seriously. She's probably vaping, isn't she? So let's get started. Let's come in to London Bridge. London Bridge is a brilliant place to come into for all things Bridget Jones because it's really near Borough Market and where her flat is. It's also very near Tower Bridge, where there's a lot of the scenes too. Let's go. Welcome to Borough Market. This is an iconic London location, a very busy one too. It's right next to London Bridge and it's also next to the Shard, as you can see here. It's also where Bridget lives, so let's go and have a look. Behind me is the location for Bridget Jones's flat. It's below the Globe pub, which you can go into. Very nice, like a traditional pub. And it's great because this is where she wrote all her diaries. It's where Mark Darcy came round. It's where Daniel Cleaver came round. Bridget, let's not forget, was doing very well for herself to be living in such an expensive and iconic location. In the books originally, she was supposed to be a Holland Park girl, but she got relocated here for the films. Holland Park's also an amazing place to go visit, so I would always recommend that. But it's much more kind of residential and leafy. This is right in the thick of it. You're right in the middle of central London and there's a lot going on. You'll remember that Borough Market from those iconic scenes. After she finds that Daniel Cleaver has been cheating on her with Laura from the New York office, she takes a very sad stroll through this very location. And she also goes shopping here. She's seen picking up groceries, and it's here that she picks up the ingredients for her ill-fated green soup. Across the road from Bridget's flat is the cutest wine bar, which opens onto the street and it also goes onto the market from the other side. I went here for a birthday rosé a few years ago, and in the first film on her birthday, Mark and Daniel have a fight and end up crashing through the window. It looked a bit different in the film. My next stop is actually Daniel Cleaver's apartment, and I've just spotted this sign saying Dirty Lane. Dirty. On the way to Daniel Cleaver's apartment, you'll go past this amazing artwork. It's all heartworks, and actually, as the film is out on Valentine's Day, it's kind of fitting, isn't it? What I didn't realise when I shot this footage was that this artwork features in the fourth film, where Bridget and Rockstar are falling in love over their summer of fun. So it's literally about 5 minutes walk to Clink Street, which is the home of Daniel Cleaver. Clink Street is also known for the notorious Clink prison, which is the right place for people like Daniel Cleaver, I think we'll all agree. You'll also find around here lots of history, so it's well worth the stroll round. So it's not just Bridget and Daniel Cleaver to come here for. You can also stop here for views of the city. The walk from Clink Street over to Tower Bridge is a lovely one and full of history, and you can also walk along the Thames, which is very nice, and will take you between 15 and 20 minutes. You'll have seen Bridget walking across this bridge so many times, and that's because it's really near her apartments. It's not really surprising, but I love this bridge. It's one of my favourites. The view from here is tremendous. Let's go and have a look. As you can see, Tower Bridge is very busy, but as it's such an iconic moment in the film, I wanted to come here. And you have lovely things like the red buses coming by, the London taxis, and as you can see, that gorgeous blue. Like Bridget's shots are always very like moody, and there's always lots of kind of hair going, or she's looking quite downcast because something's just happened, or she's looking really happy because she's going somewhere. Enjoy the walk across the bridge. You'll find that this bridge is extremely busy, so it's not always the easiest to get a great shot. You might find it's easier to get a shot off the bridge. And there are 4 amazing locations you can do that, where the bridge looks beautiful in the background. I've actually shot on this bridge, and I was trying to use Bridget as my inspiration, so I was trying to walk across it with purpose. On the southeast side of Tower Bridge, you'll find Sticky Mango Restaurant, which was previously Cantina del Pont. The restaurant is famous for where Bridget and Daniel Cleaver have dinner before their enormous knickers incident. There's a nice little row of restaurants here and a great view of the Tower Bridge. Bridget loves the bridge, and this one is Southwark Bridge, which she also has been spotted walking across. This is a gorgeous colour, like a beautiful, beautiful green. When I was researching Bridget Jones locations, I was quite surprised to find that the restaurant that her and her friends go to is actually on the 9th floor of the Tate Modern, which is very exciting. I've never been and I want to go. The Tate is amazing. It's a great location. In the first film, Bridget heads to the Tate Modern to catch up with her friends, and it's level 9 and the restaurant that she heads to. You might remember they gossip about Daniel Cleaver and drink shots of vodka. This is level 3, which has the same views, and you can just catch up for a glass of white wine. After the Tate Modern, it's a good idea to head over Southwark Bridge into the city and to Bank. It's a 22-minute walk to the Royal Exchange, and it'll look familiar as it's the end of the first film. Remember when Bridget leaves her flat on New Year's Eve to run after Mark Darcy in the snow, in her pants and her cardigan? Well, this is where she ends up, and she finds that he's bought her a new diary, and the end of the film is just gorgeous. My next stop is to visit 3 Bridget Jones locations that are very near each other. The Royal Courts of Justice were very important to the first film. You'll remember the Garnahini case that Bridget was sent to report on, and Mark Darcy was there as a human rights barrister. You can go for a pre-booked tour around the Royal Courts of Justice. Just have a look online to book. Across the street and completely unchanged is BK News, which you'll remember because Bridget bobs over there to get a packet of fags and misses the verdict, only to be saved by Mark Darcy. And bizarrely enough, right next to the Royal Courts of Justice is the beautiful big church where Daniel Cleaver has his funeral. Now, I am quite late in the day to be coming here, but this is the church that Daniel Cleaver had his funeral in, and unfortunately it has got quite a lot of scaffolding, so I can't really show you that much, and it is closed at the moment. So I did check the opening times earlier. It does shut at 4 o'clock most days. I think it's shut on like Monday and Tuesday as well, so just please check before you travel. Although if you're in the area, you will have seen the Royal Courts of Justice and the newsagent, so you'll be happy still. I should say that it looks absolutely incredible inside from the pictures, and I will come back to see it eventually, I hope. Welcome to the launch of Kafka's Motorbike, the greatest book of our time. This is where Bridget Jones comes out of the tube at Piccadilly Circus and against the lights, the big boards up here, and goes to the launch where she sees Mark Darcy and introduces Perpetua with thoughtful details, and she goes on to spend the night with Daniel Cleaver, and we might mention those giant knickers. And she also introduces Mr. Fitzherbert, not Fitzpervert. So it's a very big evening for Bridget. You see her coming out of the tubes, and you can see these big signs in the background, and it zones in on the kind of timestamp. I think they've changed the board since then, so we've got more digital, modern ones now, but still the same effect. There's loads of buses and taxis around here, so they make a really iconic British shot. It's very busy though, keep your wits about you. There's lots of different exits to play with, so you can definitely try and find the quietest one of which to take your shot. It's a very iconic British London location. And also this is where you can go and look at Regent Street, which will take us to our next stop. Just to reiterate, the book launch was at the Institute of Contemporary Arts, and this is on the Mall. You can actually go inside here, but on the day I visited, it wasn't open just yet. It's about 10 minutes walk away from Piccadilly Circus. After that, I headed up the sweeping streets of Regent Street with my friend Bettina, and we stopped by luxury lingerie shop Rigby and Peller on Conduit Street. This is where Bridget goes shopping before Mark Darcy's Law Council dinner, the one where she gets the Madonna quiz question completely wrong. After that, I hopped over to Arquette. So apparently the scene where Bridget's mum is talking about have it off is supposed to have been filmed in this Arquette store. It's obviously been changed since then, and actually I'm not even sure if that's true, but Central London is certainly a good place to come and enjoy yourself. There's plenty of historic, nice shops around here, and I'm sure Bridget would have enjoyed all of them. Oh hi, I'm just sitting here all by myself, just to come on and say, if you're not liking and subscribing, make sure you follow me so I can give you more of these London tips. Now, back to the story. So Bridget, in the new film, has moved to Hampstead, and that's where I've come to today. This is Hampstead Tube on the Northern Line, and I've just arrived. I'm going to go and check out a few of the filming locations since she's moved from Borough. I met my friend Bettina, who knows this area really well, and we started at Flask Walk. In the fourth film, Bridget lives around the corner from here and is seen going up and down it to the school and back. The local florist was used for filming, and in one memorable, very wintry scene, Bridget and her daughter are seen walking to school in the snow. They grab hot chocolates from a van, which we couldn't find, so instead we went to a local cafe. The artisan boulangerie did the most incredible hot chocolate, and we shared a croissant too. There's also also a super cute pub on this street called The Flask, but it's Le Cage Imaginaire, the cute cozy restaurant where Bridget and Roxter go on a date. The scene is shot from the outside and we see the pair enjoying a romantic dinner together. We did the same and sat in the window and ordered the set lunch menu. Inside there's loads of vintage details and also these beautiful paintings of Hampstead, and what I didn't realise at the time because I'd not seen the film was that the door to Bridget's house is actually yellow and it's a number 23, and look what's outside the window. Bridget spends an awful lot of time on Hampstead Heath and we see her memorably getting stuck up a tree and getting saved by Roxter on Parliament Hill. We also see her letting off balloons in memory of Mark Darcy, and I've been there before, and you can also fly kites. It's a very lovely place, extremely busy and extremely beautiful, with views over London. And finally, on the other side of the heath, you'll find the Spaniards Inn, which is right at the end of that final film. In the second film, right at the beginning, there's a scene which is very dreamlike with Bridget twirling around to the sound of music. Just like Parliament Hill, there's incredible views over the city, and there's also lots of lovely shops and cafes to explore. You'll also be next to Regent's Park and the canals for lovely walks around. If you happen to be in the colourful Notting Hill area, I recommend a trip down Portobello Road and the surrounding areas. In the fourth film, Bridget and Leo actually go for a date at the Electric Diner, which is a really cute spot for breakfast, brunch, lunch or dinner. While you're in this area, it's a short walk to Kensington Palace Gardens. It is the Italian gardens on the north side of this garden, which you'll recognise from the big fight scene in the second film. In a rematch from the first film, Daniel and Mark go head to head and end up falling into one of the fountains. These gardens are absolutely gorgeous to walk around at all times of the year, so definitely take your time to explore. Well, that is it for my Bridget Jones tour. I hope you really enjoyed it. See you later.